Hello everyone. So today we are here to discuss the concept of mandatory comparator. So here we will discuss the what is meant by mandatory comparator and how to design a comparator and what are the outputs regarding a comparator circuit that we will see in detail. So firstly we will see what is meant by a comparator. Okay. So a comparator is nothing but it is a special combinational circuit designed primarily to compare the relative magnitude of two numbers. So, what is relative magnitude? Relative magnitude is nothing but suppose if you take two binary numbers, okay. Suppose if you take 101 as the first binary number and 110 as your second binary number, then its decimal value. What is the decimal value of 1015? So what is decimal value of 1106? So you call this 5 and this 6 as your magnitudes of these two numbers. Okay. So this magnitude comparator will compare these magnitude values. The name itself it is there. See here, comparator. So it will start comparing the magnitudes of the binary numbers. Okay. It will compare the magnitude of the binary numbers. Okay. So minimum we require two numbers to compare. So generally we need two numbers to compare. So this comparator circuit will have two inputs. And what are the outputs you will have? Suppose if I ask you to compare two numbers A comma B in general, if I ask you to compare two numbers A comma B in general, then what you can say, whether you can say A is greater than B or A is less than B or A is equal to B. Okay, so we are having three chances. It may be greater than, it may be less than, or it may be equal to. So these are the three possible outputs for any comparison. Okay, so you will have three outputs for any comparison and you need two inputs for any comparison. So these are your inputs and these will be your outputs. Okay, so if you see a diagram for this, how the diagram will be, see, generally this is an n-bit comparator. Okay, n-bit comparator. So here we are having two inputs A comma B. Okay, and you will have three outputs. What are they? A is less greater than B, A is equal to B, and A is less than B. So for any comparator circuit, you will have two inputs A comma B and three outputs as A greater than B, A equal to B, and A less than B. Okay, so what is the meaning of n bit? What is n bit? N bit in the sense each and every input consists of n bits internally. Okay, each and every input is written in n number of bits. Okay, suppose if it is a 2-bit, for example. Okay, suppose if it is taken as 2-bit comparator, for example, 2-bit means A is written in this first input A is written in form of 2 bits. How will you write? A0, A1. Okay, A0, A1. So what about second input? Same, second input is also written as a B0, B1. So 2-bit comparator in the sense A input should be written in terms of 2 bits and B input should be written of 2 bits. That is the meaning. 2-bit comparator means each and every input consists of 2 bits internally. Okay, suppose if it is 4-bit comparator, for example, if it is 4-bit comparator, then how the inputs will be? Okay, how the inputs will be? A should be written as 4 bits. A written as 4 bits like A0, A1, A2, and A3. Okay, like that, 4 bits. Likewise, second input also should be written 4 bits. Second bits like here B3, B2, B1, B0. Okay. So like this, we will have 4-bit. This is the concept of 2-bit. So remember that this value of n will decide the number of bits to be existed in input A and input B. Okay. It will decide the number of bits to be present in each and every input. Suppose if it is 2-bit, 2 bits should be there under A, 2 bits should be there under B. Suppose if it is 4-bit, 4 bits should be under A, 4 bits should be under B. Like that, this n value decides how many bits should be represented for each and every input. Okay, whatever the bits may be, your outputs will be same. Okay, only 3 outputs will be there: A greater than B, A equal to B, A less than B. Okay, and now remember that for each and every comparison, this is very important point. For each and every comparison, one among these 3 outputs will be high. For each and every comparison, one among these 3 outputs will be high and the remaining 2 will be 0. That is very, very important. Okay. See, the above diagram is an n-bit comparator, right? It consists of 2 n-bit numbers A comma B. These are the 2 n-bit numbers A comma B and 3 outputs: A greater than B, A equal to B, A less than B. So depending on the relative magnitude of 2 numbers, one of the outputs will be high. Okay, among these 3, any one will be high for each comparison and the remaining 2 will be 0. Okay, one of the inputs, it's very important. For each and every comparison, one among the 3 inputs will be high and the remaining 2 will be 0. That is to be notified carefully. Okay, so for the time being, let us see an 2-bit comparator. Okay, let us see how to frame a 2-bit comparator. So 2-bit comparator means, already I said that you should have the input A in terms of 2 bits. This is input A, and input B in terms of 2 bits. This is input B. So totally A is in the form of 2 bits, B is in the form of 2 bits. So what is the total count of inputs here? Total count is 4. What are those? A0, A1, B0, B1. Total you will have 4 inputs and 3 outputs as usual. Okay, so this is a diagram related to 2-bit comparator. Diagram of 2-bit comparator. Suppose if it is 4-bit comparator, okay, if you want to draw the diagram of 4-bit comparator, okay, then you can add here B2, here B3. Okay, B0, B1, B2, B3. Like that, A0, A1, here A2, and last A3. So here 4, here 4. Total you will get 8 inputs at that moment. Okay, you will get 8 inputs in the case of 4-bit comparator. For 2-bit comparator, you will have 4 inputs. A is 2 bits, B is 2 bits. Total you will have 4 bits. Okay. Now, as you are having 4 inputs right now, you will have 16 combinations. You should perform a truth table. Okay. So see this table clearly. Total you will have input section, output section. And in the input section, you are having A inputs like A0, A1 and B inputs like B0, B1. Okay. So what you will do in the sense, first you put a thick line between this A and B. You separate carefully so that it will be easy for comparison. Okay. You draw a line like this, a thick line. Okay. So that you can categorize these 2 under A input and you can categorize these 2 under B input. Okay. Now these are the common outputs you have: A greater than B, A equal to B, A less than B. So how to compare this in the sense? See carefully. What is the value under A here? 0, 0. What is the value under B here? 0, 0. So you first write side here value of A and value of B. Now what is the first one? 0, 0. Convert this binary number of 0, 0 into decimal. So 0, 0 in decimal is 0 only. Here also 0, 0. So 0. So convert your binary number into decimal, that will become your magnitude, and compare the magnitudes. So this is the A magnitude, this is B magnitude. So both are equal. So under the section of A is equal to B, you put 1. And under the column of A equal to B, you keep 1, and the remaining 2 will be 0. As per the rule, for each and every comparison, 1 among the 3 will be high. So right now, this is high. A equal to B is high, and the remaining 2 will be 0. Next, go for verification of second one. Here also both 0, 0. 0, 0 means 0 in terms of decimal. And what is the value of B here? 0, 1. So 0, 1 means 1. So always 0 is less than 1. So take 1 under this column. Okay, A is less than B. 0 is less than 1 means A is less than B. So keep 1 in this section, and the remaining 2 automatically will be 0. Why? Because only 1 will be high, the remaining 2 will be 0. Okay. Now see the third one. Third one is also 0, 0. So 0 in decimal, and 1, 0 in terms of decimal is 2. So again 0 is less than 2. So A is less than B. So keep same one here under the same column, A less than B, and the remaining 2 will be 0. Okay, next go for next one. Here also 0, and these two are 1, 1. 1, 1 in the sense 3 is the decimal number. So again 0 is less than 3. So again keep 1 here, and these two will be 0. So what you are doing is you are converting the binary values of A into one decimal number, converting binary values of B into one decimal number, comparing these two numbers. Suppose if it is greater than, under the column of greater than you put 1. Suppose if it is less than, under the column of A less than B put 1. Suppose if it is equal to, under the column of A equal to B put 1, and the remaining will be 0. So that is the entire process you are doing in this table. Like that, you can fill up all the 16 combinations. Okay, clear? For example, if you are doing this one, see, these two under A and these two under B. 1, 0 means 2 is the answer. 0, 1 means 1 is the answer. Always 2 is greater than 1. So A is greater than B. This is A, this is B. So A is greater than B. So I kept 1 under the column of A greater than B, and the remaining 2 are 0. Okay, like that you need to fill up these 3 columns. You need to fill up these 3 columns, and you please verify that. For each and every comparison, your output section should consist of only a single one. See here, single one, the remaining 2 are 0. This here single one, the remaining 2 are 0. Single one, remaining 2 0. Single one, remaining 2 0. That single one may be present at anywhere. Okay, but for each and every comparison, you should get only single one. That means one output among the 3 will be high, and the remaining will be 0. So like that, you should be verify the entire table. Okay, and then you are consisting of 3 output sections. One is greater than B, is equal to B, less than B. So by using K-map, find the expressions. So as we are having 16 combinations, use 16 cell K-map, 3 16 cell K-maps. Why? Because we are having 3 sections. So here 1 16 cell K-map, here 1 16 cell K-map, here 1 16 cell K-map. So total 3 16 cell K-maps are required for simplifying that, and you need to find output expressions for these 3 columns. Okay, these 3 columns. So what we are doing here, by using this K-map, you need to find output expressions for these 3. Okay, so if you see the table, okay, this is the K-map regarding A greater than B. So here we are having one quad and 2 pairs. This is one pair, and by folding property, this cell and this cell will be one pair. So the answer of quad is this one, and the answer of two pairs are this one. So you will get the answer of one quad and two pairs. That you know how to simplify, so you can simplify easily. And when you come to A equal to B, here ones are existing diagonally where no adjacency is there. Okay, where no adjacent property is satisfying, so you cannot group them directly. You should take these ones single alone like individual terms. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 individual terms to be taken. So this is the first individual term, second individual term, third individual term, fourth individual term. So take A1 bar, B1 bar as common. Okay, A1 bar, B1 bar as common from these two. Then you will get this, and A1, B1 common from these two, you will get this expression. And when you simplify this, you will get the answer as A0 X nor B0 into A1 X nor B1. Okay, so like that you will get. Likewise, if you see this A greater A less than B, here also you will get a quad with two pairs. So simplify them. So you should be very careful while simplifying this. Why? Because you should only concentrate on the ones. Okay, why? Because this A greater than B is activated at these particular points only. So you should only concentrate on ones. Okay, now if you carefully observe, you are having three expressions. One expression for A greater than B, one expression for A equal to B, and one expression for A less than B. Now you need to draw the logic diagram. So how logic diagram is taken? First of all, you take the inputs A0 A1, B0 B1, and their complementary forms A1 A1 bar, A0 A0 bar, B0 B1 bar. Okay, like that. Take all the complementary forms by using inverters. Now, if we carefully observe, what is the expression of this? You are having one product term, second product term, the total three product terms are there. So you take three AND gates, first AND gate, second AND gate, third AND gate. And these three AND gates are linked with one OR gate. Why? Because these three product terms are summed with each other. Okay, and tie up the points as well as. So what is the points here? A naught, B1 bar, B naught bar. So see here, A naught, B1 bar, B naught bar, like that. In the expression, carefully observe what are all the inputs that are involving, tie them and link to the gates. Okay, and what you see the second expression, you are having an XNOR. Here XNOR, two XNOR gates are required and one AND gate is required. See here, A0 XNOR B0 into A1 XNOR B1. So this is one XNOR gate, this is one XNOR gate. You should multiply them. So I took one XNOR gate and inputs are A0 B0. Second XNOR gate A1 B1. And these two are linked with AND gate. Why? Because A0 XNOR B0 into means AND gate. A1 XNOR B1. So this is the answer. Okay, like that. You can see this. The last one, you are having three product terms as usual. So take three AND gates. Okay, take three AND gates, and these three AND gates are added. That means these are linked with an OR gate, so that you will get A less than B. So this is the logic diagram of 2-bit comparator. So it is very, very important regarding the exam point of view. Okay, so the same criteria you can follow in the case of 4-bit also. Okay, if you learn this 2-bit, it is easy for you to frame anything. Okay, but remember that if you are having 4 bits, you should add A0, A1, A2, A3, B0, B1, B2, B3. When it is a 4-bit, if it is 4-bit, but right now it is 2-bit now. That's why B is taken in 2 bits, A is taken in 2 bits, totally 4 bits. Okay, like that you should carefully complete this designing process. Okay, so be clear that comparator is a circuit which is used to compare the relative magnitudes of two binary numbers. What is relative magnitude? When you convert that binary number into a decimal number, the decimal value is your relative magnitude, and that value will identify, or it will help the circuit to compare. So as we are having three outputs, A less than B, A equal to B, and A greater than B, remember that for each and every comparison, only one among the three outputs will be high. Okay, for each and every comparison, one among three outputs will be high and the rest of all will be zero. Okay, so you should be clear while you are framing the truth table. Please verify that. Okay, please verify that your circuit consists of only a single one present in the output section for each and every comparison. Okay, this magnitude comparator is very, very important. Okay, mostly the logic diagram, else the circuit diagram will be asked for you to represent in the exam in the case of 4-bit. Suppose if it is 2-bit, then the entire question is asked like this. So you should draw the diagram and then you should clearly frame this table and verify that only single one is present in each and every row of output section. Only these three columns will be output section. Only these three columns will be your output section. And remember that only a single one is presenting in each and every row. Single one should be presenting each and every row. And then by using K-map, please simplify them clearly, properly. You should group properly. And then finally, you should draw the logic diagram. Okay. So this is the concept of magnitude comparator. Okay. Thank you. Have a nice day.